from Mateo. I don't understand why Guerin is suddenly on the hot seat no matter what happens with the team. Do you, first off, like, explain why that is, but then do you agree or disagree?
I mean, I'm kind of curious exactly what they're saying.
All right, I'll tee it up for you. Most people are saying that Guerin is on the hot seat now because he has now kind of used his last chip, right? He fired the coach. This is his team that he's built. Say whatever you want about the buyouts. Like, he did that. That is part of his plan.
Right.
He's the one that's telling everyone that this is a playoff team. We are going to make the playoffs. He fired his coach, who is the first one he hired. Now he's on his second coach. I think it's reasonable, like, in a vacuum, right? Remove all the variables. If you tell me that a coach is on their, or a GM is on their second coaching hire that they made the decision on, and things don't get better, it's definitely hot seat time for that GM. Now, for the Wild, do you agree that, like, it's on Guerin now moving forward, or do you see there being spots of gray to that?
Well, I mean, I do think there is, like, spots of gray, but I do generally agree with it. That is pretty much the consensus, right? Where it's like, okay, here's the team that I built. Here's a massive, and like, it's funny because they'd be like, oh, what are they supposed to do with the buyouts? Well, the one that he decided on. So obviously, it's like you could use that as like, well, what are they supposed to do? It's like, I don't know. Like, I guess technically, like, he didn't have to. He did have to, but he's fired the coach now. He's built this team. He made the big decisions with the buyout to put them in the position they're in now. So, like, obviously, yeah, like, he is put, before the season. There is, like, what do you, like, what's ever going to do now? Like, oh, John Hynes, you know what I mean? Like, you can't really blame Hynes now. And the players are here. Like, the guys that are here, they're also locked in, and who made that decision. So, yeah, I mean, again, what will be very interesting now is, like, I still think this is a playoff caliber team. And in this division, I think you can still respond, play very good hockey. It's possible to get into the playoffs in this division, I think, obviously.
Yeah.
What will be interesting now is, like, let's say they just have a phenomenal, however many games left, what, like 50, 60 games at this point? I don't even know how many games to play. But what if they peter out in the playoffs the same way? Then I'm very interested in, like, what's the commentary now? Because, like, do the pitchforks immediately come out for Guerin when, like, I think if you put a gun to anyone's head, like, before the season, like, hey, this team should make the playoffs, are they any more likely to win a playoff round than the team that they had last year? I could not possibly say that with a fucking ounce of confidence, knowing Dallas and Colorado are still right there either way. You're playing one of them if you get the 3 seed. Or if you look, okay, wild card, you end up playing one of the Pacific teams. Like, you're gonna beat Vegas. You're gonna beat Vegas. Like, I don't really think but obviously, if you make the playoffs, like, the expectation is, well, doesn't matter who. Like, you're wanting to win around. Like, no one enters season like, can't wait to make the playoffs, and then that's it. Then I just stop watching. So it'll be interesting to see if they, like, have a phenomenal rest of the year, go into the first round, lose 6 games. It's the same bullshit. Like, do the pitchforks really come out for Bill Guerin? Because, I mean, any GM at all times, you could go as someone from Boston at the team that broke. There were still people going to the playoffs, but they've had pitchforks for Sweeney out for years, and they just won't go away anyways. So there's always going to be people wanting to, like, talk shit about the GM either way. But this is the year that specifically I'm very curious to see what the commentary is after a first round loss. If they get there.
If they get there, right?